Welcome to the News9 Mediaverse, and I am Karthikeya Sharma, and you are watching To The Point. Now, violence in Bishnupur and CHURACHANDPUR continues. The Hindu, a national newspaper, has reported that for the second day, 2 jawans of IRB battalion got injured. On Wednesday, 7 people were injured. On Tuesday, 8 people were injured. It has been reported that mortars and automatic weapons were being used. How come this violence has flared up? What is happening? I will tell you the reason why this violence has taken place. A lot of pictures have come out. Now let me come to the point straight away before I play out the picture. And a very special guest joins us on this issue of Manipur. Nishikant Sapam, independent MLA, known personality. Brijesh, why has this violence flared up so badly in Churachand, Bishnupur? What's the real reason?
Well, I think the supply of gun is already there in the society, and this these kind of flares up are just waiting to happen. We have discussed this several times that until and unless the guns are confiscated, until and unless this long range sniper guns, long range mortar guns are all confiscated, getting 9mm pistols and smaller arms and ammunition is not going to do any good as far as this fragile peace in the state of Manipur is concerned. And this is something which is flaring up every now and then. Empty houses are burned. Firing takes place between the two ethnicity, where it looks like like all kind of reconnaissance are being done. People are targeting. People are making sure that that they have the ample bandwidth to retaliate in kind and content. And until and unless there is a proper crackdown which brings back law and order, also confiscating these heavy weaponries. Karthikeya, we will keep on hearing this kind of story from Manipur for a long time to come.
Okay, now a lot of people are saying that the fight which has taken place is also, it's just not a spontaneous fight. This fight has taken place because one part was trying to identify, one section was trying to identify the bunkers. And then the farmers came in between. There are a lot of stories. But Nishikant Sapam also visited the hospital. A lot of people were there. He visited hospitals in Imphal. These are the visuals of people. These are the visuals of those who got injured. Nishikantji, are you there with me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Nishikantji, who are these people whom you visited?
See, if you see in the picture, there is this person who's hit in the chest. So he is a farmer who had gone to his paddy field, and he was shot from behind, I think with a sniper. So the bullet went through and through. And that is when, this is in Narasena. This is in Bishnupur district. So it sparked off, as far as my knowledge goes, this guy was hit, he was a farmer. Then after that, these village security VDFs moved in, and then the firing has been happening. Today is the third day, it still continues. Then the first day, 7 people were injured. One succumbed to his injury. Then yesterday, 2 IRB, that is the Indian Reserve Battalion of the Manipur Police, and 6 civilians have been injured yesterday. And today is the third day. The firing still continues. And I believe all along Narasena, Fubala, Khongsabung, these are areas which are kind of connected to one another, and the firing still goes on. You see, you have to notice one thing, that after the Honorable Prime Minister had said there will be peace, he even spoke about Manipur on the Independence Day on 15th of August from the Red Fort, and there has been a lot of considerable silence. But yesterday, a few days back in Narasena, this is where this incident took place. Sad, and it still continues.
So basically, you're saying 16 people were there. But I have a question for you. A lot of people are saying that in this visual, you have people who participated in the violence, Sapamji. A lot of people are saying that you have militants here who were part of Arambai Tengol. Is it correct?
No, I think that is, a little far-fetched. I don't know. As far as I am concerned, I went there because people were injured, and these people were getting free medical treatment in these hospitals. Yesterday, the 2 hospitals that I visited is the Raj Medicity and Sija Hospital, where half of them were there. And because the hospitals are giving free medical treatment, completely free, So I thought I should lend a handing hand. If they were treating the communities in any injured from the other community, also I would have done the same. But because I am in Imphal and these are hospitals in Imphal, so I went, reached out. I don't even know anybody personally. I mean, any Manipuri injured is Manipur's injury. So that's where I reached out. I
Okay.
don't know anybody personally. I don't know why it is.
Sapam, these are general visuals shared on social media. It's your high profile visit.
Yeah.
This photo is coming under controversy. So when you went
Okay.
there, this photo, it's there. When you went to the hospital, when you went, this is a general photo available. You went to the hospital, you are meeting everyone. So we played out
Everybody.
those visuals, everyone. So when you met this guy, a lot of people are saying that he was part of an armed group. Did you know that?
It's like Nirav Modi had shaken hands with the Prime Minister, so they said Prime Minister is, a part of the crime that he's, done. Likewise, so if I see Xi Jinping shaking hands with Rahul Gandhi, so am I to blame Rahul Gandhi? Or, I mean, come on, man, it doesn't go that way.
Okay, fair enough. I am no jury, I am no
Does it
judge.
have
I am
any
asking
logic?
you this.
I am meeting all of them for the first time in my life. I am meeting all of them because when you are hit, when you are almost kissing death and you are recovering, all you need is a nice smile and get them, alive, morally, stronger. So you will see me handing over a little amount to the owners of the hospital just for their help, so that to the help to the hospital because they're giving free medical aid. And so I visited all the injured. This is another gentleman in the picture where I visited, and this is how it was. I don't know. I've never met them personally in my life ever. I've never seen them on social media.
Sapam,
if that is the
lot of
indication
people,
that you're giving.
Do you ever get to? Is it possible? You are the person. People who are victims of violence and people who got injured because they were part of the process of violence. Am I audible to you?
Can you repeat? I couldn't hear you.
Yes. I am saying that two things, Sapam Saab. One is victims of violence, Sapam Saab, correct? Like farmers. And the second thing is, those who were part and parcel of the violence and they got hit because they were participating in the violence. How do you distinguish between that, sir?
Okay. Now,
I think it's a fair question, sir. It's a fair question, sir.
Okay. So I'll give you a fair answer.
Okay.
So this farmer goes out to his paddy field. He gets hit. So people around there, rush in, to protect him and to fire back because they feel that the village and that area is under attack from the hills, from the other community. That is how they rushed in. And they are not somebody that I've ever met. They just rushed in. They are supposed to be VDF. That is I think the village defense force. And they had made their own village defense forces. So these are the boys who have gone in. And there are men, there was a gentleman who was like 58 years old. I said, well, I can see your gray hair. He said, I'm 58. I said, okay. So that's how I met everybody. And they cheered up. They were happy. I would have met everybody there, irrespective of any community, whoever was there.
You met everyone there. Before I give it to Brijesh, he wants to ask a question.
I can't hear you.
Brijesh wants to ask a question, but one thing I would like to know from you, sir. Why has violence escalated in Bishnupur, CHURACHANDPUR? Why has violence escalated?
Well, that you have to ask the people who have started the firing. Violence should actually never have started. When
Who started the firing, sir?
They will. Anji?
Who started the firing, sir?
I can't hear you, yaar.
Who started the firing, sir? गोली कहाँ से चली पहली?
गोली फार्मर पे लगी ना, वो उस पे छाती पे जिसको लगी हुई है. He was the first victim.
कहाँ से चली?
The first shot was fired from there.
Where? Plain or hills?
Can you go back? There is a man who's hit on the chest.
Yes, I will play all the visual. गोली कहाँ से चली? Hills से चली या plain से चली?
Hills. अरे भाई, जिसको पहले गोली छाती पे लगता है, उसके छाती से ना गोली निकलता है, उसके छाती को गोली लगता है. वहां से शुरू हुई. This guy, imagine if there is firing going on, do you think the farmer will go to his paddy field? Come on, nobody is so insane. चाहे आप पढ़ा लिखा हो, जो भी हो, सबको पता है गोली लगने से. Yeah, this is the person. Can you just go back? That guy on the chest.
This is a visual loop, Sapam Saab. Everything is playing. I'm playing out every visual. No visual has been marked out. पूरा loop पे चला रहा हूँ मैं. वो भी visual चला, सब चला रहा हूँ.
ये बच्चा है ये, देखो. अच्छा, तो ये जो छाती पे जिसकी लगी है, he is the guy who was the first shot victim. Then everything started. Everything escalated.
So are you saying that the Are you saying that the KUKI militants attacked?
Absolutely. Pahad se, I don't want to name any community. The firing started from the hills.
But
I'm
Mr.
telling you, Imphal stays very calm and cool as long as there is no firing from the hill to the foothills. Narsena is a sad incident of where this farmer was shot from the hill, and that is how all the VDFs arrived, people who had guns arrived, and that's how everything happened.
But Mr. Sapam, I mean,
And if you are to indirectly, if some people who are even watching this are to kind of assume and imagine that these are insurgents, then they would be behind bars. These are normal people. That is why they are being treated there. Everybody is identified there, I'm sure, by the hospital, and they are being treated there.
That is why, Sapam Sahab, I asked you point blank, even before when I called you for the show, sir, as honestly, that I will ask you a question that this is being done on social media, and you told me that you're going to reply point blank and honestly. And the question was, when we went there, people on social media are saying that one of them is a militant. You are saying he's, how would you know?
I don't know. I'm meeting them for the first time. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
But if they were from the other community also, I would have met them also. I would have given the same help. Thing is that now we are in such a situation that, you know, I can only reach out to hospitals in Imphal.
Are you saying that it is very difficult for lawmakers to reach out to other areas, relief camps and hospitals?
Yeah. Very difficult.
Why?
Very difficult.
Why, sir?
We are totally cut off. Totally cut off. So are the other people. It's a sad situation. Though things should improve, it's a sad situation. Simple. You see, you have to understand one thing. I am an independent MLA. Without any party, I happen to be supporting the ruling government.
Correct.
You have to understand that my powers are very limited. Very limited. But my heart bleeds for Manipur. When I say Manipur, altogether, every community that resides in Manipur, the Manipuri Kukis, the Manipuri Nagas, and the Manipuri MEITEIs, we all make Manipur. It breaks my heart to see what's happening in Manipur. There must be peace. Manipur belongs to all of us. We are all sons of the soil. We all need to live together peacefully, happily. अब जो होगा शांति आए, NRC होगा, जो नहीं है वो चले जाएंगे. बाकी they can apply through CA, through the law of the land. That's how it should be. Anybody unhappy, whether it is a Manipuri Kuki, whether it is a Manipuri Naga, whether it is a MEITEI, Manipur is unhappy. We all have to go together, live together, progress together. You know, look forward and leave a good, happy legacy, a united Manipur for our children and the generations, gen next year.
You know, all these, Sapam Sahab, Brijesh this side, all these, what you're saying, you know, is this something which should be said by everybody. I can feel what you're trying to say. But the fact also remains, Sapam Sahab, that, you know, thousands of weapons, you know, the real weapons, if I may use the term, are still out. And, you know, it makes everybody a sitting duck for that. You know, from hill you can shoot, from valley you can fire, and you know, attack and counter-attack. Why isn't the government cracking down on machinery? And, you know, when you, part B of the question, and please indulge me in that, sir, is that, you know, when you say that there is an official line that 70% of the weapon is in valley, 30% is in the hills, and, you know, with the removal of Assam rifles and all, and Manipur police and this much force, why isn't the crackdown? And why is there no visible crackdown on people having real firepower, sir?
अच्छा ऐसा है आप कभी क्रिकेट खेले हो?
हाँ सर खेला है.
I am the 12th man, ठीक है? So I can only cheer from outside. I am in the team, no doubt, but I am the 12th man. आप मेरे को ओपनर बनाओ ना, सचिन तेंदुलकर से ज्यादा मारूंगा मैं. So it's a question. Yes, I am a part of the team, but nothing seems to be in my hand. You have to understand that. So with regards to the guns, coming to the point, okay, those guns which were looted or taken away from the police and the armory, you know, but a lot of them were also taken away from the hills. But of course, majority of them were taken away from the valley. I understand that. But what about those 3 truckloads that came in, which came to our knowledge? What about some truckloads which never came to our knowledge? So it's not that it's like a one-sided thing. Had it been a one-sided thing, do you think this violence would have lasted? Chalo, I am taking away the responsibility of the government, and let's say that there was a free-for-all, and one side is not armed, and one side is heavily armed. Do you think it will last? It will not last because both sides seem to be very well armed. Simple as that.
No, I get your point, and I also understand what you're trying to say when you are equating yourself with 12 man, sir.
Exactly.
What I'm trying to understand from you, because you are an MLA, and you have a standing in the society. I'm just trying to understand, why is the government not doing a crackdown, a serious crackdown which sees result, other than those few pistols here and there, and 10, 20, 100 cartridges found? Why this reluctance on this massive crackdown, sir?
Man, a lot of times I give a lot of examples. Some people say they expect a lot, and I am in a way very happy that they expect too much from an MLA like me. They seem to be expecting a lot from one MLA, that is the independent MLA. So, I can see. Let us say that I'm in a vehicle. I'm sitting behind. Pehli baat hai, first of all, backseat driving is very bad habit. Number one. Number two, let us say we are all going in a bus, and the driver kind of runs over a person. I cannot go to jail, right? Then the other day, one gentleman, he messaged me saying, you will do everything that is required for Manipur, this. Then I called him up. I said, boss, I am the person on the sideline. I am in the extras. आप मेरे को सेंटर फॉरवर्ड बनाओ, फिर देखो मैं आधे घंटे में 100 गोल ठोक दूंगा.
लेकिन एक चीज बताइए, ठीक है, बाकी सारी चीजें ठीक हैं. इन योर ओपिनियन, व्हाई वाज द मणिपुर सेशन एन एब्जेक्ट फेलियर? चलिए, लेट मी टेक यू टू द पॉलिटिकल टर्फ. बहुत हो गया, हॉस्पिटल में क्या हुआ, वहां ये व्यक्ति रेडिकल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से जुड़ा था नहीं. ओके, डन विद दोस क्वेश्चंस. यू हैव सेड
वैसे कार्तिकेय, यू आर अ वेरी एग्रेसिव एंड अ वेरी व्हाट शुड आई से, वेल, अच्छे वो हो, लेकिन वी हैव से ये उसमें सिलेबस में नहीं था, लेकिन फिर भी बोल देता हूँ. Yes, the people of Manipur wanted more assurance. I know that. And who calls the assembly? The initiate karte hain, leader of the house and the speaker, and then it is acknowledged and summoned by the governor. Now, when the assembly took off, I didn't know what was going to happen, but it was chaos. It was total chaos, and I think even the Congress started piling on. This before anything would happen, everybody was shouting. It was complete chaos. I wish it had gone on smoothly and things could have been better. There should have हमने obituary तक नहीं करी. There were some 4 or 5 obituaries to be done. Some ex-MLAs had expired, so it just finished off. And I think that has made the public very क्या कहते हैं, heartbroken. That, I mean, as far as I am concerned, ठीक है, होता तो हम देखते क्या होता था.
पर मुझे तो ऐसा, मैंने भी पार्लियामेंट कवर किया 25 साल, एक बार एडजर्न होता है, देन द चेयर कम्स बैक, देन ही कॉल्स देम अगेन, देन ही एडजर्न फॉर द लंच, देन ही कम्स बैक आफ्टर द लंच. यहाँ तो एक झटके में काम तमाम हो गया. नहीं,
कार्तिकेय साहब, आपको ना ये प्रश्न ना या तो आप लीडर ऑफ द हाउस से करें या स्पीकर से करें. मैं फिर बोल रहा हूँ, मैं निर्दलीय विधायक हूँ.
वो मैं जानता हूँ, आप निर्दलीय विधायक हैं, लेकिन आप बातचीत करते हैं इसलिए सवाल पूछते हैं और आप अच्छा बोलते हैं. इस हिसाब से सवाल पूछा जा रहा है.
हाँ, बिल्कुल, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन मैं आपको बता दूं,
आप भी वो कर सकते हैं जैसे बाकी विधायक हैं, चुपचाप मौन व्रत लेके बैठे हुए हैं मणिपुर में.
अब क्या है ना, मेरे अंदर ना ये कीड़ा है बोलने की. तो मैं लेकिन मैं आई वाज द लास्ट पर्सन टू गेट अप फ्रॉम माय चेयर. मैं बैठा रहा.
बैठे रहे आप. एग्जैक्टली. अच्छा, सच बताइए,
सपन साहब, एक बड़ा
11 मिनट पे हुआ था, सही बात है, एग्जैक्टली 11 मिनट में बंद हुआ था सेशन.
नहीं, देखो, ऐसा हुआ कि व्हेन इट स्टार्टेड, द Congress people, they started like shouting really loud. Okay, everybody wants to save Manipur, and why not? But after that, the leader of the house went on speaking. They kept shouting. Then there was 2 minutes silence for some certain obituary. We couldn't hear anything. I had put on the headphones, and then what happened was the speaker said, "We will adjourn for half an hour." So half an hour adjourned. And then I was definitely on the ruling side of the lobby, and they said saying कि ये पहले से ही चिल्लाने लगे. Maybe इनके जो भी प्रश्न उत्तर इनको करना था वो प्रोग्राम में नहीं था, and all that. Then they have this क्या है that one day before they have what is to be discussed and this and that. I've forgotten the word. So that is planned by them. I was not a part of that sitting. उसके बाद again it restarted. After half an hour, again the howling, shouting, everything started. You can ask any pressman. That's how it went on.
Okay.
And then suddenly, sine die, it went off that way, and then मैं तो बैठा रहा.
Okay. Okay. So last question before I let go of you, I would like to again ask you. A lot of people on our YouTube chat box are saying that this gentleman was from Arambai, Bengal. Can I ask you this question again, Sapam Saab? Did you know the people who were there admitted before you went to the hospital?
मां कसम से मैं नहीं जानता कि कौन किस में से हैं। मैं पहली बार मेरी जिंदगी में मेरी मुलाकात उनसे हुई। इंसान होने के नाते, इंसानियत के नाते मैं उनके पास पहुंचा, उनको गेट वेल सून बोलने गया। मैं अपनी तरफ से, हमारी टीम की तरफ से मैं थोड़ी सहायता करना चाहता था मॉनेटरी टर्म से, जो मैंने किया। अगर उसमें कोई पाप है तो फिर मुझे लटका दो सर।
Thank you, Mr. Sapam. Thank you for being forthright. Apart from this, there is another part of this debate. You know, the mortars were used, the guns were used, automatic weapons were used, sniper rifles were used, and they were all used in this region, and the violence has not ended. And I think it's a very worrisome phenomena. And on this issue, I'm very happy that I'm joined by Mr. Tombing, Assistant Professor, National Law University and Judicial Academy, Guwahati. I'm also joined by Group Captain Retired Nandakumar Sharma ji, who's spokesperson of Delhi MEITEI Coordinating Committee, and I'm joined by Major General Ashwani Sivaji. Ashwani ji, I'm going to play out some more visuals. Now, these weapons have been taken. These are visuals. You know, what is one thing very clear? These are collage which I'm going to play out. INSAS is out. Automatic weapons are being used. Mortar is also being used. Can you comment on it, sir? Mortar, I don't remember mortars being used in insurgencies like this.
You know, what has happened is, imagine that type of weapons which were looted from the police armory were all automatic weapons. They were MP4, they were sniper rifles, they were LMG, there was also 51 mortar. So there is no doubt that the quality of weapon was very high, and they were also long range weapons. Now, rightfully, the weapon which are being used is now sniper rifle. Now, this sniper rifle which have been used has a range almost about 3.8 kilometers. So, from such a distance, a person who is in the field, who is an innocent farmer, can be targeted. Now, so this is one story where number of weapons which were looted from police armory. Now, there is another side is there are also a lot of weapons which have come across from Myanmar to Manipur. And these are also a combination of weapons which are automatically and high caliber. So what has happened is the whole environment is charged in Manipur, and the number of weapons as well as the quality of weapon is very high. And due to which the violence cannot come down until unless you do not able to take these weapons out of the society. And these are being used by both sides, and both sides, even the militant groups are now fighting from their side. So the question which is coming is, if you want peace to prevail in Manipur, the first and foremost is to ensure these automatic and heavy weapons and heavy caliber weapons, including sniper rifle, LMG and mortar, they must be brought out from the society by doing a proper calming operation by coordinates, sir. And until you do not do, the peace will never prevail, because one side use these weapons, the other side will use. It is very difficult to find out who used first. And the people who are become victim are innocent from both sides. So unfortunately, this is the truth, and this is the ground reality, that there are the whole society charged, because there are so much weapons are there in society, not only weapons but also with adequate ammunition. And this is the irony. Until unless we do not take out the weapon from society, the second step cannot go. You know, there is a mistrust between both society. Both societies are equipped and armed with very heavy caliber weapons which are automatic and long range. And third thing is one small incident which triggers, then the violence again erupts. So this is what is happening, and unfortunately we are not able to succeed. The government is trying its best. The government, what they have done is, they have made a buffer zone. They wanted at least there is a safety margin between both the society, both the community, and the violence reduced. And then they start talking. But the problem which is coming in, the intention is very noble. But till the time when these weapons are not withdrawn, one side is using this weapon, automatically there is a casualty on the other side, and then the other side also use this weapon. And this is a vicious circle.
Let me go to
therefore, my point is, you have to make sure that these weapons are taken out from the society, and they can only be taken out from society by doing a combing operation by court and search, because no one voluntarily is ready to give it. What weapons have been now given back by the society are very small weapons.
So these weapons are in full display in Bishnupur, Churachandpur. We spoke to Nishikant Sapam. He said even today the violence has happened. 16 people have been injured. IRB of Jawans have been injured. Sharma ji, what I want to know from you is, why is the flare up happening? There are a lot of theories. And is it correct to say, and Mr. Tombing, I would like to respond, is it correct to say that these civil society organizations like Arambai Tengol, they are active? Is it correct, Sharma ji?
I do not know the existence of Arambai Tengol, because I came to know about Arambai Tengol in sometime in the first week of May when the violence started. Before that, I never knew, and I also heard the organization being discontinued after a lot of deliberation by their members. So I really don't know what is Arambai Tengol and what's their role in the society. Though if Arambai Tengol is using the arms and weapon and doing the attacks, then they come under the ambit of law and orders. So that's not a problem. I'll tell you an example. In the valley, especially in Impal area, the law and order prevails. One of my relatives, she just had to recover a bad dad or bad loan, and he spoke to one of the person unknowingly who could help him. For that, the person who was captured by the police and the call log was there, and my relative was put into jail for 4 days. She got a bail after 4 days. She was booked under UAPA just for having a call log. This is the law and situation prevailing in Imphal. So nobody can do any say funny activities there. So anybody, Arambai Tengol, anybody having or involved in any of the activities illegal, they will be booked and they can be booked. That's not a problem.
Okay.
However, the similar things is not there in the will.
Sharma ji, my question was, what is happening in Bishnupur, Churachandpur? Why is this flare up happening? Is there anything specific to it? Because I have a point of view. पहले आपसे मैं जानना चाहूँगा.
Yeah, मैं बताता हूँ. इसमें why? Because it started firing from a sniper and the villager got killed. So obviously the MEITEI people, they also got angry, and those who, in my opinion, I'm not very sure, who has got arms and weapons, those also would have retaliated, which is bad. However, police and other armed forces, security forces could have controlled it. Number one. Number two, I see a different angle here, because you remember in 2020, Trump came to India in February 25th or something. The Delhi riot happened. And now G20 meetings are planned in sometime in 9 or 10. So the violence is again starting. So it is a deliberate attempt by the foreign agency through KUKI militant groups or miscreants. It may be through MEITEI insurgencies also. I don't know. I'm not sure. But there is an involvement. And also, you see the arms and the weapons.
Sharma, you have a security background. General Sivach is there. I was told, when I was speaking to an army officer, he said, sniper बंदूक कोई लेके भाग जाए तो वो sniper नहीं बन सकता है. पहली चीज, sniper बनने के लिए ट्रेनिंग चाहिए होती है. It takes 2 years. I don't want to name the force but I don't want to do this name shame sort of a journalism which happens. But people in Manipur, a part within the security has been trained in sniping. By getting a sniper gun, you don't get to become a sniper. So, he was telling me that, just because a shot has been fired from the hill doesn't mean that, there's a sniper there. You don't become a sniper by just taking away the sniper gun. It's an art in itself. Sharma ji.
Absolutely, you are right. It has to be trained personnel to use a sniper rifle, and this firing is done by a trained personnel who has trained it, or how he was handling it. It can be cracked down by the armed force personnel. It will not be an easy thing in the present scenario. If government wishes to pass certain directions, the central government, I would request rather, because the Amit Shah has said the hills will be looked after by him. So since firing is from hillside, Amit Shah can crack down. Amit Shah is the Home Minister. If he wishes, he passes the order with the presence of so many military, army and Assam rifles. It can crack down. I don't think it will be a difficult thing. But what I am saying was, it involves external influence, like Trump's visit, Delhi riot happened. Similarly,
you made a point that it's external. Tombing ji, I'll play out a chunk because I asked this question. And Nishikant Sapam, who was there in our show, denied it. I'll play that chunk out to you. But first, your opening comments on this. Why the violence has surged? Why Bishnupur has become such a flashpoint? A lot of people were saying that It was an attempt to find and locate certain bunkers in the hill that the violence happened. And the farmers became the casualty.
It is very unfortunate that violence has broken out again. And in fact, in many ways, we are in a war-like situation again. Of course, it was still continuing. And then if someone has a bunker also, it is not necessary against the laws as per Geneva Conventions and all that. And rather, if the bunker protect and secure or give a sense of security to the communities. In fact, the Geneva Convention also says that it can be marked as in a purple color and all that. And that is maybe.
But Tombing ji, why should people make bunker? You know, it's like dual-use technology. Why should bunkers be allowed, sir? Geneva Convention तो बहुत सारी बातें बोलता है. But you know, if you allow people to make bunkers for peaceful purpose, you don't know when the bunkers get weaponized, sir.
Already, everybody is saying that communities are weaponized. Armories have been looted. Sophisticated armies have been looted. Mortars have been looted. They have been used for this ethnic war that has happened. And both the communities have access to these weapons. And another concern is that one flare-up happened and then everybody is mobilized again, and then attack may happen. So on the front line, there has to be some kind of a security which is in place. And it should not be a very big concern.
Let me play out a part, you know, because I asked this question of Arambai Tengal to Mr. Sharma. Let me play out a part. I had interviewed Mr. Sapam and I asked him that, did you know that it's on social media, people are accusing you that there was a guy, you know, who was part of the violence there. And then I'll come to General Sivaj. This is one question I would like to know from you. एक तो होता है victim of violence और एक होता है you are part of the process of violence and you are hurt. Where do the security agencies come in to differentiate between two of them? Let us play out that part of the interview. Again, ask you, a lot of people on our YouTube chat box are saying that this gentleman was from Arambai Tengal. Can I ask you this question again, Sapam Saab? Did you know the people who were there admitted before you went to the hospital?
माँ कसम से मैं नहीं जानता कि कौन किस में से हैं. मैं पहली बार मेरी जिंदगी में मेरी मुलाकात उनसे हुई. इंसान होने के नाते, इंसानियत के नाते मैं उनके पास पहुंचा, उनको गेट वेल सून बोलने गया. मैं अपनी तरफ से, हमारी टीम की तरफ से मैं थोड़ी सहायता करना चाहता था मॉनेटरी टर्म से, जो मैंने किया. अगर उसमें कोई पाप है तो फिर मुझे लटका दो सर.
Okay, now let me play this out one more time. Again, ask you, a lot of people on our YouTube chat box are saying that this gentleman was from Arambai Tengal. Can I ask you this question again, Sapam Saab? Did you know the people who were there admitted before you went to the hospital?
माँ कसम से मैं नहीं जानता कि कौन किस में से हैं. मैं पहली बार मेरी जिंदगी में मेरी मुलाकात उनसे हुई. इंसान होने के नाते, इंसानियत के नाते मैं उनके पास पहुंचा, उनको गेट वेल सून बोलने गया. मैं अपनी तरफ से, हमारी टीम की तरफ से मैं थोड़ी सहायता करना चाहता था मॉनेटरी टर्म से, जो मैंने किया. अगर उसमें कोई पाप है तो फिर मुझे लटका दो सर.
Okay, Sivaj Saab, you know the mortars have been used, automatic weapons have been used, snipers have been used. इतना violence है जो, what should the state do? And please educate both me and Brijesh to find out ये लोग victim हैं, इनको गोली लगी, और ये लोग वो लोग हैं जो लड़ रहे थे और इसलिए गोली लगी. Is there a forensic procedure? Is it possible to find out, you know, जैसे जब conflict होती है, लड़ाई होती है, so it's like a gun wound thing. पास से मारा, दूर से मारा. I'm asking you, sir, is it possible to find out?
See, in this situation, that both sides are victim and both are aggressor. The problem is coming that no doubt with a forensic expert, you can find out what was the caliber of the weapon, from which distance it was fired. It can find out. But our aim is to now ensure that how this violence is reduced. and the violence is been building up from both sides. Now, this point which has been raised since on 9th and 10th, we are having a G20 meeting, and this violence is again erupting. There can be a foreign hand. You cannot deny it and overrule it, in the sense the Chinese are very much interested that this should flare up, and we already know that Xi Jinping is unlikely to come and become a part of G20 meeting, and you will find it that this violence will try to flare up till 9th, 10th, and the reason is simple. The China hand is also there. Myanmar, through Myanmar, they are trying to sign weapons. Already the environment is charged, and you slightly put it, the environment become overcharged, and that is what unfortunately happening. The weapons are on the either side. It is not from one side. It is on the both community. There is a mistrust, and also since there is an involvement of foreign hand, the Chinese will try its best to show us in a bad light before G20 meeting that the violence is still going on Manipur. So therefore, it is in interest of Indian security forces to ensure that somehow you curb this violence, bring peace and order between the two communities. The government is trying its best. What they did is, they thought that the best solution as of today is that since both the communities are almost trying to fire at each other, create a buffer zone. And the buffer zone is quite successful. Until unless this heavy caliber weapons, they start being used by the both sides, and you found that up to 4 kilometers also they are being covered, and this has created a sort of a very peculiar situation. But certainly, the intention of the government was quite noble. Now the problem is coming in. What about the Chinese hand which is involved?
Leave alone the Chinese hand. It's such an unfortunate thing. The buffer zone runs within the Manipur Assembly. They couldn't even carry out a proper discussion. I was speaking to Mr. Sappam on this issue, and he said that the things, no one was on the same page. Log alag baat karne lage, and suddenly the house went out of gear. Mr. Sharma, coming to you again. The Bishnupur CHURACHANDPUR violence, in your opinion, is premeditated, or do you think it's sporadic? Because in sporadic violence, 16 people don't get injured, one doesn't get killed over a period of 48 hours.
Kartikeya, I couldn't hear you properly, but however,
I'm saying that I'm asking you, do you think that was premeditated or sporadic?
I can't really comment on this because I do not know what's exactly happening. But however, we see the crisis is lingering for a long time, and as General Saab also said, I fully agree with him. Its influence of foreign is we cannot neglect. And one more thing, I would like to come to the solution part. We have discussed a lot about how violence is happening, how it is happening. So I would like to briefly talk about the probable solutions which government can take if they are willing to. Firstly, the militants, from where the funds are coming. The funds are coming from the poppy plantation. So September is a harvesting season, as people said. So we must destroy all the poppies right now so that they are stopped out of the incoming of the fund. So if they don't have the fund, they will not have future money to buy. And also in the local news on 16 August, there was news that 16 Tata DI, that small sort of that goods carriers, 30 have been fully loaded and come from Myanmar with the arms and ammunition. And this coming to Imphal is not possible because of the high security. This would have gone to various places of the hills. Those arms will start acting now. So my suggestion or my request to the government is stop funding.
I think you made a point. You are saying destroy all the poppy fields. Mr. Toming, is it possible to destroy all poppy fields right now when there is no movement of forces in the hills and valley easily? Is it possible? Can you do that?
That's not my domain.
Yes, I'll share the solution also.
No idea. Seriously.
Sharma ji?
No idea.
Yeah, if you permit, I'll tell you the solution also.
Tell
how
me.
It can be destroyed.
Tell me.
Yes, Air Force can be used. It can be spread. The chemical can be spread through aircraft. And even the retired pilots will be happy to do so if there is a lack of or a shortage of pilots. They can spray the chemicals and the whole poppy plantation can be finished in 2 days or maybe at most 1 week. And next year onwards, there won't be any problem. This is my one opinion.
Sharma ji, then Manipur will become the second state where Air Force gets deployed for anti-insurgency operation after Mizoram, The only difference would be that in Mizoram the bombs were dropped.
We are not going to kill anybody. We are going to kill the poppies. And
No,
it's
I didn't
against
say
the
that
fight
people
against the
will be killed.
narco-terrorism.
I'm saying that it will become a second place in this country where Air Force is actually deployed for insurgency operation. And it is so tragic that, and you know, it is so tragic that, you know, I thought this will be a one-day discussion or maybe 1.5 days discussion. You know, when I interviewed Mr. Nishikant Sapam, he told me that even today, you know, sporadic violence has taken place in that area. So, which means, General Sivach, it is taking place where the two communities come into contact with each other with heavy weaponry. It just simply translates into that.
Your voice was not heard.
I'm saying it
in
clearly.
the last, but in any way, I could make out. My point is very rightly these issues are now coming up since these heavy weapons are both sides, and also that there is a chance of this violence flaring up before 9/10. And the issue is that we are talking that one is the weapon to be whatever weapon are in the society, we should try to get that. Also seal this border between Myanmar and Manipur. Now, this is a very vulnerable area because there can be a chance of more weapons coming from Myanmar to Manipur, and this will further charge the environment. And we have to be very careful. There can be a foreign hand involved, and especially before 9th and 10th, because the peace was limping back. All of a sudden, again, things start flaring up. There can be a chance wherein weapon may also get infiltrated from Myanmar. This will further charge it. So we have to be careful, and all action which can be taken, destroying of poppy field by various means, ensuring that no funds sort of goes to these militant groups. All these action must be taken because there is no these solution. There are a combination of number of solutions. And another issue is that these two highways, which are the lifeline of Manipur, must not be allowed to be blocked because the government is trying its best. There's a railway line which has come. At least when the necessity items are available both in Manipur Valley, that is Imphal Valley, as well as the hill, at least there is a people are getting their necessary item. But if that happens, if they are blocked, then it sends a very wrong message. So I suppose it is a challenging time for the security forces and government for next about 2 weeks. Till the time you will have this 9th, 10th G20 meeting, you will find it that the other side will try to increase the violence, and we have to make sure that the violence is calm, and those who are taking law in their own hand, a suitable action is taken, and we ensure these weapons do not come from Myanmar, seal this border, do the combing operation, bring semblance of law and order. I suppose that's a very important today. And as far as this buffer zone is concerned, I think that is a solution now, because buffer zone, you may say anything, at least it has succeeded in ensuring there is a peace which was prevailing till the time these 2-3 incidents have taken place, and these have taken place with a long range weapon, which no one thought they are there with both the group. But yes, as on today, it is known. It is not only the sniper LMG, you have got MP5 as well as the mortars which are available by both sides.
Okay, Mr. Tomig, I think a very important observation made by General Sivach, but it also brings into play one more thing. It cannot be incumbent on lawmakers anymore. Civil society needs to kick into action. We have seen what has happened in assembly. I think the response needs to come from people.
Yes. I really believe that action should come from people. In fact, this morning, one person, Mangboy Chun, he was being taken towards Aizawl for treatment. He died because of these skirmishes again. And also because of this particular attack in Hosabung area, emergency shutdown has been declared in entire Churachandpur by the CSO. And in fact, it's very unfortunate that it is only 2 days back that the assembly sat, and then they have taken a very strong resolution for ensuring peace in the entire state of Manipur. And I see that this escalation is a humiliation to the resolution taken by the Manipur State Assembly, and it has its ramification in the union government also because of the very idea of double engine. So therefore, taking all factors into consideration, now what it seems is that the people's representatives, the lawmakers, etc., they do not have much of an influence over the communities anymore. And so if anything has to now come, it has to come from within. But I think it's still very far-fetched. I don't know why this mayhem is still continuing.
Yes, you have a point.
Maybe they have vested interest now here.
Yes, you have a point. You have a point. Brijesh, tell me one thing. Today, when we picked up the story on on this from the WhatsApp messages, hospital, and this whole controversy that people who are part of an organization which is ruffling the feathers of other community, they were also there. Doesn't it tell you a deep seated distrust? ये उस organization का वो यहाँ treat हो रहा है और ये लोग चले गए. Doesn't it reflect a deep seated distrust?
It does, Karthikeya, and that is the reason why usually, like whether you can have a buffer zone or not, which is applicable to a more better scenario. These kind of scenarios don't exist as far as the state of Manipur is concerned. What provoked a lot of reaction was that in couple of stills it was claimed that that the person concerned was member of now disbanded disbanded Arambai Tengol, and people say that that they were the one who were taking active part in the fight. Though I mean no official denial has come so far, but these photographs have generated a lot of
curiosity,
chatter on the
you asked a very important question to Nishikant Sapam. Let me play out. My colleague Brijesh Pandey asked a very important question. Please play that out with the question.
All these, what you're saying, is this something which should be said by everybody? I can feel what you're trying to say, but the fact also remains, Sapam Saab, that thousands of weapons, the real weapons, if I may use the term, are still out, and it makes everybody a sitting duck for that. From hill you can shoot, from valley you can fire, and attack and counter attack. Why isn't the government cracking down on machinery? And when you part B of the question, and please indulge me in that, sir, is that when you say that there is an official line that 70% of the weapon is in valley, 30% is in the hills, and with the removal of Assam rifles and all, and Manipur police and this much force, why isn't the crackdown, and why is there no visible crackdown on people having real firepower, sir?
अच्छा ऐसा है. आप कभी क्रिकेट खेले हो?
हाँ सर, खेला है.
I am the 12th man. ठीक है? So I can only cheer from outside. I am in the team, no doubt, but I am the 12th man. आप मेरे को ओपनर बनाओ ना, सचिन तेंदुलकर से ज्यादा मारूंगा मैं. So it's a question. Yes, I am a part of the team, but nothing seems to be in my hand. You have to understand that. So with regards to the guns, coming to the point, okay, those guns which were looted or taken away from the police and the armory, but a lot of them were also taken away from the hills. But of course, majority of them were taken away from the valley. I understand that. But what about those 3 truckloads that came in, which came to our knowledge? What about some truckloads which never came to our knowledge? So it's not that it's like a one-sided thing. Had it been a one-sided thing, do you think this violence would have lasted? Chalo, I am taking away the responsibility of the government, and let's say that there was a free-for-all, and one side is not armed, and one side is heavily armed. Do you think it will last? It will not last, because both sides seem to be very well armed. Simple as that.
And let me play out that bite again, which I asked him when he visited the hospital. Let's play out that bite again. These are the 2 important takeaways. Let's play that bite again. Again, I ask you, a lot of people on our YouTube chat box are saying that this gentleman was from Arambai Tengol. Can I ask you this question again, Sapam Saab? Did you know the people who were there admitted before you went to the hospital?
माँ कसम से मैं नहीं जानता कि कौन किस में से हैं. मैं पहली बार मेरी जिंदगी में मेरी मुलाकात उनसे हुई. इंसान होने के नाते, इंसानियत के नाते मैं उनके पास पहुंचा, उनको गेट वेल सून बोलने गया. मैं अपनी तरफ से, हमारी टीम की तरफ से मैं थोड़ी सहायता करना चाहता था मॉनेटरी टर्म से, जो मैंने किया. अगर उसमें कोई पाप है तो फिर मुझे लटका दो सर.
So today, the reason for doing this story, and let me play out those visuals for you again. One, and let us play out the visuals full screen. One, that even going to hospital becomes an issue. As he says, let me take him on his word, because I am no judge, jury and magistrate sitting here. you know, you go to a hospital, you don't know which the next person is. But the fact of the matter is, people are concerned and they say that the person who is there belongs to an organization. That's one. But the second point is, when I interviewed Ram Madhav and I spoke to him, he said what the government needs to do is to create incident free days in Manipur. And he told me categorically in my interview, Ram Madhavji, he said if Biren Singh creates incident free days in Manipur, and if he can create 30 incident free days a month, then the job will be done. 30 days of no violence. And I think that is where the challenge is. And as General Sivaj very rightly pointed out, I thank all my panelists, but you know what, General Sivaj had made one very important point. You got to get the guns back. Please listen to the General, because you know what he said was, you got to get the guns back. You have the guns, you incentivize people. It's like taking a person, alcoholic, to a bar. He'll falter. You got to take the guns back. Unless and until the guns are out, I don't think Manipur will be able to resume a normal life. I think that's the most important thing.
इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि सभी लोग कर रहे हैं.
Coaching is now starting from grade 3, 4, 5, 6.
होता जाने वाली बीच राह में आधे टेस्ट देके हैं सिलेक्शन की चाह में.
ऑल इंडिया का बच्चा कोटा जाता है.
This rat race is for rats, not for humans. So why should we even be a part of it?
The Rat Race. This and more streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
The historical moment, and it's here. Magnus Carlsen, the world champion, loses to 16-year-old Pragnananda.
The beauty of sports is the emergence of new heroes and the triumph of the underdog. Chennai teenager R. Pragnananda too finds himself in that bracket. Having made heads turn in the chess world with his achievements, the 16-year-old prodigy seems to have made a habit of vanquishing world champion Magnus Carlsen every time they score